Welcome to the Sweet Science of Fighting Jiu-Jitsu instructional channel. Myself, James, and Ryan again. We're going to take you through the Mikey lock, but also a Mikey lock variation that you won't have seen before. But make sure you go down in the description. You get access to all the Sweet Science of Fighting Jiu-Jitsu strength and conditioning programs, plus access to Ryan to break down any of your training or rolling footage and any questions you have on these techniques.
The Mikey lock from the inside. And I'm also going to show the Mikey lock from the outside as well. I didn't learn the Mikey lock from outside. Actually, I don't know if it's called something else, but it's the same setup basically, but the leg's on the outside of the body, not the inside. But first, let's just see what the actual Mikey lock is from my understanding and using it here. So I'm not going to talk too much, just so you know about my leg configuration. But there are a lot of different leg configurations you can go into here, 80-20, 90-10, Xing your legs together, all these different things you can do. What I'm actually gonna do today is just, I'm gonna get to this side position. I'm just gonna go into a 90-10 type of position here, leg lock position. So if you don't know what 90-10 is, it's okay, just go to there's 9 leg lock positions. You can go online and find the 9 leg lock positions. This is what we call C3 position. So this 90-10. So, what we're going to do is we're going to go into the Mikey lock. So the way I set up the Mikey lock typically is I'm trying to get like a standard heel hook grip. Now understand if I get the big toe in my armpit, it should be a pretty rough ride here. It's questionable if the person escapes, okay? So sometimes what ends up happening is the person's doing what they're supposed to be doing and they get their actual foot turned here. And I don't get to attack the big toe for the heel hook. Now, sometimes people abandon this position, or sometimes they'll grab the big toe, and this is all good stuff. You know, hold the big toe to your body, move them across your body, go into Samanat positions, things like this. But essentially what I'm trying to do, as soon as he turns his foot this way, I will grab the big toe. But what I actually do here is, if I'm up on my elbow, I try to like lean, I kind of go to my side here. When I go to my side, I press forward so it brings his leg to my hand. This is important. It's very hard for me to maintain control and like retract my hand to get my hand backwards. What's actually happening here is my hand is staying where it's at, I'm controlling, and I use my body to dump his leg into my hand. And this seems, I haven't seen this anywhere, this is what has been working for me, is to keep it connected to me and then bring my body to my hand, and this seems to be much more effective. So once I have this, he's sitting in the palm of my hand here, his heel is, and I'm with my bottom arm. Now once I'm here, I go parallel. So what I mean by parallel is my elbow's gonna go parallel with his leg. So I need to make sure that I'm here, like this, okay? Now, once my forearm and my forearm and his leg are parallel, and I have the control of the big toe, I'm gonna come up over the big toe, and I'm gonna bite it with my neck, okay? Now as you can see, I have the palm, the heel in the palm, and his big toe is blocked off by my neck. Now the trick here is that I want to make sure that this is pushing up and my head is biting down. Sometimes you can produce something right there. But at higher level, guys won't tap to this. I need to put my head to the floor. This is up. I'm gonna be a little loose here. I'm gonna take my outside arm and I'm gonna punch through. Okay, and I'm making a fist. I'm not doing this. I'm not holding. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. I'm actually making a fist and I'm creating a shelf. And the reason why, because that puts a lot more pressure for me to put my head down to the floor, okay? So essentially it keeps his foot off the floor. I don't want his foot on the floor because then I can't start to bend his big toe down. So this is gonna be your basic Mikey lock setup. And again, you don't have to do this step by step of what I'm showing here. Sometimes it's just, you're here and then you get this and boom, and now you're here. And then you already fed it there and then boom, and then you go right into it, okay? So this is just kind of showing you just kind of how it works, okay? So we're controlling the big toe. He starts to turn his foot and we're here. So I'm not trying to bring my hand back to catch his heel. I lift my body and I bring his leg to my hand. Once I have that, I can go over his toe. My arm goes parallel here. Once I'm parallel with his leg, this stays up off the floor. My head goes to the floor. That drives his toe down to the ground like I'm pinching my neck. I take my outside arm and I punch it through. And I make a shelf. And then that's it. The motion here is this. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. And I'm that. Okay? So that's going to be your Mikey lock. Now I'm going to show you on the outside how this actually still works. And it's really interesting because I've actually set this up from just a basic Ashigurami position, a single leg X. We call it A1 position here. You can set it from double outside Ashi. It's just, if I have my basic Ashi position here, my double outside Ashi, I've set it up from either one of these positions, and it works. So everything's gonna be the exact same, but this time, obviously, I'm holding the big toe, and I'll grab the heel. I bring my head over the big toe. And really what I'm doing here is my neck is kind of cutting across these 4 toes. And it's smashing his foot down into like what looks to be a toe hold, right? It's like smashing his foot down this way. This is the direction of a toe hold. So when I go parallel, I do everything exact same. I put my head to the floor. I bring my arm under, and I'm bridging this way as I rotate my upper body behind me. This seems just as effective as if the foot was on the inside. So you could look at this as another grip you could actually use, the Mikey lock grip. And again, there's some variations here. Yes, there's some attacks on the back. There's always questions about double outside Ashi, whether it's a good or bad position. There is back exposure here, obviously, but if you can really start to learn how to use double outside Ashi, you can sort of mitigate some of the weaknesses of it. But that being said, if I did land in a double outside Ashi, or I did land in a regular Ashigurami position, and I had a scoop on the leg here like this, there's no reason why I can't bring the here, boom, and then try this, and then go for it. If all else fails, and I'm here to have this open Ashigurami position, and he starts to rotate, he starts to turn this way, it's not the end of the world. I still have a fantastic position. And if I were to actually let this loose and he keeps spinning, I'm going to end up right back into honey hole position. Okay? So we'll land right in honey hole position here. Okay, so I really like that variation for the outside, and obviously as well as the inside, it's extremely effective.